because obviously you got this new album coming, which I want to speak to you a little bit about. Tell us a little bit about it and what you kind of wanted to say at this point in your musical journey.
I think when we kind of felt like we were at the end of writing this album, which was over probably 2 years, and when we were kind of getting to the end of that and nearer to the recording, I think, and actually looking at it now and the songs and the messages and the kind of through line of the record, I think it's funny that at any point in life, at any point, you know, there's always going to be struggles and troubles, and you know, I think it's almost more poignant now than it was when we wrote it, and what we were writing about. It kind of has almost taken on a new life and new form in that sense because of everything that's happened. And I think a lot of the songs are about, you know, seeing some light at the end of the tunnel, as much as some of them are a bit kind of darker and a bit sadder in that sense, that it's often kind of paired with a kind of positive takeaway, whatever that may be. And I think that says quite a lot about us as people. You know, we're human, we go through things, we evolve, we grow, and like our music has, and like our career kind of has, like, I think that this next album is so kind of spot on with where we're all at, and we're really proud of it, and it really feels like us. This record really feels like us, and it feels very, very truly authentic, to, you know, to if someone said write an album, this would be that album. You know, there's kind of there's not been a huge amount of outside voices in what we've created, other than our kind of little collaborative, you know, circle within the band. So yeah, it's a pretty cool record. It feels like we've sat on it for such a long time. I just cannot wait for it to come out.
Well, that sort of brings me on to my next question, which is about one of your collaborators, Mr. Marty Stewart, the legend, who you are very good friends with at this point. Tell us a little bit about working on Dreams, because that's such a special song, and he wrote it with his wife Connie. And how did it fall into your lap?
It was pretty bananas, really. We were out in America. We were in Nashville, anyways, and I think we were out there during Americana Fest. I think it was that time, wasn't it?
2018. Yeah.
And we had this Airbnb not far out of town, and yeah, basically Marty rocked up, guitar in hand, and basically said to us, "Look, been sort of playing this song that me and Connie wrote it years ago. We both really liked it, but we never did anything with it. Like, it's yours if you want it. Here it is." He sat down, he played it to us, and was like, "Take it or leave it. Like, I don't mind, but I thought you could do something with it." And at that point, we were sort of just like, "What?" You know. And then actually, when it came to working up the songs for this album, because I think initially we were a bit worried about how we were going to do it, because it's you know, it's like Marty's song, you know, it sounds like it's got that stamp all over it. But we found a way, after we played around a little bit, of trying to sort of we found our take on it, basically, that we really sunk into and enjoyed, and we recorded that in Hackney at the premises. And then, you know, we got thinking it'd be really cool if Marty would like maybe want to do something on this record. So sort of approached him and sort of went, "What was the chances? Do you fancy slamming on a little solo or something? What's the what are the chances of it?" Sort of just at best hoping he's going to go, yeah, sure, all right, yeah, like, let me just record something and I'll email it over to you. But Marty Stewart, being Marty Stewart, is he's the guy that goes, you know, "Well, actually, tell you what, next time you're in town, come on down to Hendersonville. We'll go to the Cash Cabin and we'll hang out and record there. So yeah, lo and behold, that's what happened. So he invited us down. We just finished recording the album in Woodstock, and came through town. It worked out incredibly well, and like fortuitously for us, what with the like the travel restrictions and everything that came afterwards with COVID, like we got this recording done. We then had to go and do a gig in Connecticut, and then we were coming back to Nashville again the next day to go on, and it was that point that we were like, we can't. So we just got this recording in, but it was unreal, man. Like, what can you say? Like Marty Stewart taking us there as well, like from start to finish, that song, and here it is.
Yeah, well, from a musician's perspective, how inspiring is it to be in a room with Marty? Because like I've interviewed him myself, and he walks into the room and he's got this aura about him. I can't describe it, but he's got something that nobody else has got. So what is it like to sit down and work with the guy?
At the time, like actually, I remember like he was very personally, I didn't know what to say, but as a musician, he's obviously like he's an incredibly like experienced guy. Like he's an amazing musician, and in the studio, he just said he was like asking us like what do you think, kind of thing. What should I sort of play? And I personally like I didn't know what to say to him. Like I remember being like, "You're Marty Stewart," like. And there he is asking us, like, because for the record and stuff. But it is amazing because as soon as that ball starts rolling, like he's a professional, like. But it is just like you're watching him do his thing, and hearing him like go take doing these takes, and every single one of them, he's like, is it that? Is it this one? And you're like, oh, jeez, like,
yeah,
he's a wizard.
he was kind of very conscious of not just going, all right, I'll just put something down and like go nuts. He was very like, oh, no, I don't want to like overwhelm, like I really want to be respectful, and I really want it to like tie in with what you guys have done. And so he really kind of worked with us that day to get the right thing. And I didn't expect that. I literally kind of similarly just thought he'd come in and be like, damn, done.
That's your take.
There's your take, because he's that good. And he could, I mean, his first take could have been the one, but we worked on it, and it's just he really, even if he didn't need to necessarily, but he really made us feel like we were part of creating his what he was doing. He's just awesome. He's just an awesome guy. I just love him.
Yeah, it's a really special track. And while we're on the subject of studio stuff, tell us about working with your producers Simon Felice and David Barron, because what you've got is a really unique sound on this record. So how did those guys kind of help you bring that sound to life?
They just again, I guess what's been nice with all the aspects of this album is the collaborative spirit, from Marty to David and Simon to a couple of the tracks. So like Dreams, we put down the kind of bare bones of it at the Premises studio in Hackney with our like close team and Neil, the engineer there. And it was this real kind of collaborative spirit. But what Simon and David had to do was take these pieces from the Marty stuff and the stuff in the UK and make it kind of fit together, whilst also kind of recording really the bulk of the album there. But it was there was a big whiteboard. It was the most organized recording experience that I think we've ever seen. It was like whiteboards, and everything's so clean, and there's candles burning, and you're there at 10 a.m. and you finish at 7 p.m. and there's green juices, and it's just and it was the kind of the ambience was just wonderful, because it was freezing outside. It was minus 20 was the coldest day, so like had never experienced that. Snow, beautiful Catskill Mountains, and everybody's just there going, how do we get the best out of this song? There's no singular ego. And as a band of three, how we work is that we have a band ego, and we work really, really hard between the three of us to really check in and support each other. But the main goal is, how do we make sure that the band is okay and we as individuals are okay? And what's so wonderful and terrifying when you widen that is, does it get contaminated? Does it lose something, or is it better? And particularly with this record, where you could listen to Dreams and be like, oh, okay, so it's kind of Americana country. But then you listen to Dolores and you're like, oh, okay. And then Tell Me When I Wake Up, and then On Our Way Now, and then Build a Fire. Like, those songs, you hear them and you're like, is that, and for some reason they fit on the album, whether that's just because we've said they do, but they do. Like, we think they do. And they did a really great job of taking the best bits of what we do, adding the best of what they do, and having an album that we have worked and fought and sat on for so long into something that we are so very proud of and feels, as Chess said, so authentically us.
Yeah. You guys must be so excited to play this album live as well, I'm guessing. It's been far too long.
Yeah, oh my God. We started actually playing when we were in America still, because we'd been jamming those songs for recording. They were kind of under our fingers a bit. So we played a couple of them at some festivals for the first time when we were over there. And that was quite an interesting experience, because in some cases we were playing to crowds that didn't have any clue who Scooby-Doo we were. They were just there, So to get like totally fresh ears from people that didn't know anything about the band was quite interesting for us. But that was the last time that we've played some of those songs. Was before we flew back in 2020. So it's going to be unreal to start playing some of these things again. It's going to be like a bit of one of those to actually learn them again and remember how they go. But yeah, it's going to be so awesome, because like the girl said, we've been sitting on this album for such a long time. It feels it's a really big egg that needs to hatch.
Well, guys, I'm gonna let you go. I don't want to take too much of your time, because I know you've had a busy afternoon. So thank you so much for doing this. Appreciate your time as always, and best of luck with the new music.
Thanks so much, Dan. It's great to see you.
Likewise, and hopefully I'll see you in person pretty soon.
It will be.
Sure.
But yeah, always good to see you guys, and I'll speak soon.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Dan. Take care.
All right.